Don't let the Tennessee Valley Authority fool you. They're not looking out for the best interests of its customers. They're not trying to keep rates down. They're not really doing anything other than land grabs, short-term solutions for long-term problems that are not sustainable and definitely not healthy for those around it. What's going on, guys and girls? You may be seeing these handy little signs saying protect Cheatham, no methane gas plant. You may see other signs, similar wording on it. Well, that is because the Tennessee Valley Authority, in their infinite stupidity, has decided to build a methane gas plant here in Cheatham County, within 2 miles of 2 schools. And their justification is that it will only produce 40% of the pollution that the Cumberland City power plant produces that's coal-fired. Well, that's still 40% of the toxins in the air, and a lot of people are not happy about that. And then the other day on National Public Radio, WPLN station in Nashville, I heard that this is actually one of 8 or 9 methane plants that TVA has decided to build in the past 3 years. Now, part of their justification, other than the quote reduce pollution, end quote, is that it will help them keep the power grid going in events of super cold weather like we had this past winter. The problem is, the reason why the grid failed this past winter was because Cumberland power plant in Cumberland City and had safety features that froze up. And this is where they're going to be building the power plant, 200 acres out that way. See a nice little blue sign right there? It says no hunting, TVA. Yeah, you can't get a real good view of it, but you can get an idea of where it's going to be from those handy little signs. Blue sign, blue sign, blue sign. Now, of the many people who are against it, one of them is a local judge who has a direct line of sight into that property, and he did some investigating on his own. He went out to similar plants, 2 of them. One was under some construction or reconstruction, so he couldn't quite tell if the noise he was hearing was construction related or if it was the power plant. The other one he went to, and I spoke with him, he said it was definitely the power plant. 2 miles away, he said you could hear it like a jet engine just running. And he talked to a local in that area who explained that there were neighborhoods near the power plant, and the landowners sued TVA and won in court, and TVA had to buy their properties up because of the sound disturbance going on. That was constant. It wasn't just a little bit, it was constant. So I'm going to do a little quick cut and show you a neighborhood that backs right up to the property. a suspicion a lot of these homes, or some of these homes, are rental homes, and that could be why you don't see the protest signs. Or maybe they're hopeful their homes will be bought out by the TVA. As you saw from the first road we were on, and this road, I'm not sure how they're going to access that area easily with heavy equipment to build a methane plant. We'll look on Google Maps and show you good luck selling that house, and show you the bird's eye, satellite eye view of the area. Why would you want to increase the odds of people contracting cancer? And the pollution also will taint this waterway, the Sycamore Creek, everything running all the way over to the Cumberland River. They'll have to lay in a methane pipeline, which methane pipelines are notorious for developing leaks on their own, and that can go undetectable for months and months at a time, and all those hydrocarbons get released to the atmosphere. Now, before anybody gets all wound up and says, "Oh, Cheatham, you need to do your share for the power grid. Cheatham already houses a hydroelectric dam." It would be nothing for them to put in solar back there, a solar farm on 200 acres, a wind farm. And Tennessee has average wind enough to support a wind farm, and it has enough solar to support a solar farm for average. So both of those arguments against that kind of green energy are wrong. Our beautiful governor signed in legislation that qualified methane as green energy, though it's a greenhouse gas. Another thing to consider about building the methane plant here is how hot air hitting cold air, or cooler air, or moist air can cause condensation, water vapor, clouds, fog, whatever you want to call it. Cumberland City gets these large plumes that hang over the entire little town and then fall out over the fields. You can see the precipitation come out of the vapor coming off the coal fire plant. Cheatham County is probably one of the most foggy places I have ever been. It's because we have the Cumberland River, and there's a big valley, of course, for it that runs through the middle of the county. But back in my former career, I used to work midnights driving around the county, and it would get so foggy that your lights were basically useless. You could only see maybe a foot or so in front of the car. It was ridiculous. It was dangerous. So Highway 12 is becoming more and more frequented by people commuting to Clarksville, to Nashville for their jobs. Imagine them coming through peak rush hour in the mornings and hitting fog through here. Hitting dense fog. We already had a dense fog alert this morning. And that's just going to lead to more crashes, more injuries. That's another reason why they want to put the power plant in that area. They can just tie right into those lines. Remember Sycamore Creek that I showed you earlier? About to pass over it again. It's a very popular canoeing place and kayaking place. People fish in it. This large bridge up here, Sycamore Creek, downstream of where that power plant's going to be. All that will be polluted. So if you live in Cheatham County, you own land in Cheatham County, you need to stand up and say, you know, no methane gas plant. Look for alternatives. They may cost a little bit more, but in the long run, it's going to save us a lot more in healthcare costs, in injuries, in illnesses, and it's going to be more sustainable. Sun's not going to burn out anytime soon. Wind's not going to stop anytime soon. But a methane leak, a pipeline fire, those are going to cause some problems. Pollution in the air, kids within 2 miles inhaling that's going to cause problems. So thank you for listening. If you watched this far, appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't be happier stuff. I guess the bright side is it's a beautiful day to be out riding. So stay safe and have fun, everybody.